Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another beautiful, lovely video of mine. I am yours truly, Spritey. And boy, is it nice to be back. I had actually just finished up playing Halo Campaign Evolved with my good dear old friend John. We've recorded all of the campaign, and so I am in the current progress of editing. I've already got the first episode completed, and what it is that we are going to edit it where we are going to make 2 campaign missions per episode, and there's a total of 10 missions in Halo CE. So you're gonna get about 5 videos of me and my good pal John playing Halo. And so I'm pretty excited to put that out there. It's been a very hot minute since I've recorded with someone, and this is a bit of his first time actually doing YouTube, or at least being part of a video for YouTube. So it may be a little awkward, but it may be also a little fun, and it may be a little different, and it'll be great. And I certainly enjoyed playing it with him. And not just that, but I've officially beat the video game itself, Halo Campaign Involved. It's one of those things where I really wish, really, really, really wish that they actually had multiplayer in that game. And I'm not saying in the campaign, but as I've said before in previous episodes, bring back campaign, or not campaign, goodness gracious, Slayer. Bring back Team Slayer, bring back Free For All, just bring back custom games where we can all play around in a map and have some fun. It used to be simple like that, right? It used to just be that custom games with a map where we could all fool around. And I mean, if you want to take it competitively like I used to, by all means, but they don't do that anymore. Ugh, it makes me so sad. So I got all the achievements. I've got everything I needed in that game. There's nothing else for me to do. I've already recorded it. I'm so glad I didn't buy the game, because it's one of those things where it's like, well, I don't need to keep it downloaded on my storage if I'm not going to touch this game after this. I mean, after you've beaten everything, you've played through the campaign, you've beaten on Legendary, you get all the achievements. At that point, there's nothing else you can do in the game. I mean, I have more things to do in Forza Horizon 6, and I have probably played that game more than I did with Halo Campaign Evolved. So I'm dipping my fingers back into Forza Horizon 6, but I've also downloaded a couple of new games. I've downloaded College Football 26, so I can't wait to play some of that. I've been recommended to play Crash Team Racing Nitro, so I'm going to give that a try with my friends as well. Um, what else did I download? I thought I downloaded something. Oh no, I had to update Forza Horizon 6. That was part of the list of downloads I got going on. Oh wait, no, I remember. I also downloaded Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. Now, I'm still trying to beat Lego Star Wars 3, but I have not done that yet. In my eyes, beating the game is completing all achievements for it. And then once I've done that, then I'll get onto Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. Now, I don't know if there's something I can do in that video game where I can make a video out of it. I'm kind of looking at that, but I'm not too sure. Anyways, there's just many things going on now. I've got different options and choices and things that I can do on my free time now. One of the other things I wanted to talk about in recent events and news, who likes going to Buc-ee's? I've got a couple of Buc-ee's nearby, and I really like me a good Buc-ee's. Every time we head straight to Orlando, whether it was for Disney World or just when I used to go to wrestling. AEW is coming to Orlando again, October 17th for pay-per-view, World's End, I think. I can't remember. They're coming back to the UCF arena, and beautiful arena, beautiful college kids everywhere, great atmosphere. Um, Always a great show when they're there. Always sold out too. Would I love to be there? Absolutely. Am I able to at this current moment. Nah. Trying to be a good boy financially. I'm trying to make wiser decisions. So may or may not skip out on that event. We will see. Last time I went to Orlando for wrestling was for AW Revolution. What was that in 2024? And stayed at a hotel and spent a night there. And yeah, I had a really great time going there. So I absolutely would love to do it again. And you know AEW, they always put on phenomenal matches. How did I get from Bucky's to wrestling that quickly? It's crazy how that works. I am going back to Bucky's. Now, of course, the destination is always Bucky's. It's cheap on gas. Well, that's debatable because I've been told that Bucky's has cheaper gas, but every time I go there, I don't find it cheaper than the Shell gas station down the road. So that's debatable, but it is a super mega convenient superstore of a gas station. If you've never been to a Bucky's, you're actually kind of missing out, and that's something I didn't expect to say. They have a variety of everything, variety of candy, variety of jerky, variety of sandwiches. They even have roasted nuts, and they are glazed. And they have a variety of that. You can get cashews, walnuts, whatever, pecans. It is absolutely wonderful. They have a icy machine. They have soda. They have coffee, and that's typical for gas stations. But they have their own everything too. They have their own branded chips, and like everything there is about variety, options, and something new. They, of course, have the infamous Bucky's logo slapped onto everything, including merchandising. And that's kind of the trick of how Bucky's is so successful. It used to be because of the gas, but it's because of the convenience stores. It's because of just how much stuff they're able to sell and how much they're able to get away with that too. It is phenomenal. Anyway, if you've never been to a Bucky's and you see a Bucky's on the side of the road, I'd at least give it a try. Now, I will say, if you're not a fan of crowds like I am, Bucky's may not be your shop then. I mean, I could never work there. I don't know how those people work there. Not me. I would have to be one of those people behind the counter. I could not be on the sales floor whatsoever. I just don't understand how some people are able to handle that, but no, not this guy. Anyways, apparently Bucky's is putting a lawsuit against a rural Ohio mini mart, and they are called Beaver Mark Beaver Mart. And it's not because of Beaver Mart's logo or anything like that. It's because of the federal trademark application for Beaver Mart. And I guess Bucky's got an issue with that. And so they are absolutely suing Beaver Mart for that. And, you know, I never known Bucky's to be called Beaver Mart. I've never heard anyone call them Beaver Mart. Now, do they have a beaver on their logo? Absolutely, but it doesn't mean anything. I mean, you can mistake that for any other animal as well. I mean, I don't know. I think it's silly, in my opinion. I mean, nothing is going to harm Bucky's at the rate that it's going. I don't think, anyways. And there's just something about Bucky's that has a spark to it that no other gas station does. Well, I like 7-Eleven personally, but that's just me. I like the vibes over there. But Bucky's has something special, and they're not going away anytime soon. It's like trying to overtake Starbucks. Never going to happen whatsoever. People love their Starbucks. People love their Bucky's. There's no other Beaver Mart out there or beaver related anything that's going to overtake Bucky's. But they are just so ANAL about their own product that no one else can even be remotely close to a beaver pit stop or a convenience store or a mini mart or a gas station. So this has actually been hurting the reputation of Bucky's. Not that I've seen a decline in sales, not that anyone's really panicking about it, but I have been seeing Facebook posts of people that are like, man, Bucky's dropped the ball on this one. Man, I was a long time customer for Bucky's, but not anymore. I don't think that's going to make a huge difference whatsoever. I think people are going to honestly forget about this and move on. And I mean, if there is someone that's like trying to purposely rip you off as a business, I understand. Go ahead and sue them. Now, if there's a mini mart that's been open way longer than you, and there's a mini mart like 20 plus years, we're talking about how long this little mini mart's been in operation. They were the first beavers. They just never became as popular as Bucky's. I think that should be easy to dismiss for any kind of lawsuit right there. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that situation, but it's not going to stop me from going to Bucky's. I don't think it's going to stop anyone from going to Bucky's. I think a lot of those people on Facebook that are saying all that about Bucky's, they're going to go back to Bucky's. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you cannot find a cleaner bathroom on the road than Bucky's. They have people who are hired to do nothing, custodians, to clean the bathroom. That is their entire shift. And their bathrooms are big. And they have stalls. Stalls to have about what, 50 people? It is crazy. So Bucky's, I'm sorry, but you can't beat it. I don't think Bucky's going anywhere because of this. I just wanted to bring up the topic. I just think it's a little silly, a little stupid that they're trying to sue a beaver mart. Like, they're not trying to rip off Bucky's. They're not actively attacking them. They're not actively like ripping off their logo. I mean, they got their own beaver logo, and that beaver logo's been around longer than Bucky's. I mean, at that point, and though they're not attacking the logo, remember they're attacking the trademark Beaver Mart. So I just think it's silly. On other news that I wanted to get on top about, AJ Styles has a kid. He is 19 years old. His name is Avery. Avery Styles is his wrestling name, and he is making his name known out there. He is 19 years old. He wrestled probably a good couple of matches, and he's already been getting this online attention. It's certainly gotten my attention. And he's so far so good up until there's a promoter out there by the name of Eric Cannon who happened to, I guess, got rubbed the wrong way, I want to say. So what happened was, I don't even know how to begin or where to begin. I got to click up on all these tweets and all these links. So it started with Natty. Natty says Avery Styles wants to pay his dues. And she said, I was able to go to GCW yesterday and watch Avery Styles and one of our dungeon students, Marcus I can't see without my glasses. Marcus Mathers wrestle, and they blew me away. They blow me away. They're I gotta click on this to open it up more. They're so young and they have so much presence, and they just love this. They study it, they think about it, they eat, sleep, breathe, fight, scratch, claw, and want this. So after their match, I went up to Avery Styles and Marcus Mathers, because Marcus already trained with us in the dungeon. I was like, man, Avery, I would love to get you in the dungeon because I just love his passion. I could feel his passion pouring through his soul, and I loved in the match. Okay. What I really liked is that he didn't win the match. It showed me, and I said this to Avery. I said, it showed me that you're willing to pay your dues, that you're not just going to come into the industry as AJ Styles' son that has to be pampered and coddled, and he wants to earn it. He wants to pay his dues, and I love that. So Natty publicly says that. Promoter, and I assume a guy who works for GCW, Eric Cannon. He tweets out saying in a response, as someone who watched this kid skirt away from helping with a single thing at this very show, I'd just like to say LO effing L. So apparently Avery Styles didn't do something he was asked to do after the show. So now we get a response from AJ Styles. He said he was paid to wrestle at GCW, not help you put up and take down the ring. That sounds like your job. You just sound like a jealous douche. And of course, big old promoter Eric, he's not going to ignore that. It's probably the most attention he's ever received in his career. Because Eric apparently used to be a wrestler, not a famous one. I have all the respect in the world for you, AJ. I understand why you defend your son, and it is admirable. But the fact remains, he can stay AJ's kid, continue to skirt responsibility and paying dues, or he can earn the respect of his peers and stand on his own as Avery. Now we're getting a little spicy here, and I just think it's a little funny. So, of course, just recently, this is actually new to me. 46 minutes ago. So I haven't read this part about AJ Styles. And he tweets, it's funny, as I was talking to Book It Gabe literally tonight, he talked about the ring crew that ROH used. That's why we never had to set up or break down the ring. Not even the chairs. Want to guess the crew that GCW hired to do that? I'm assuming GCW didn't hire a ring crew. And if they did, it's this Eric person who I assume was using talent to help take down the ring and stuff like that. So, there's different perspectives in the situation. So apparently Eric, or I guess Eric didn't do it, but someone asked Avery Styles to do something to clean up the ring or take it apart or pick up the chairs or do whatever after the wrestling show. And it is not uncommon for wrestlers to do that at indie shows specifically. You're never going to see that happen at like real wrestling shows like WWE or AEW. I mean, you may. I mean, if those people are aboard or something, or if they're paid specifically to do that. But in indie shows, it is historically popular, decades, that wrestlers more often than not, would clean up the wrestling ring after every show. Once everyone leaves, they would pick up the chairs, take down the ring, just clear out the whole venue, and call it a day. And so this has kind of put a divide on the internet, and some people are defending Avery, some people are defending this Eric person, and there's two sides to this interesting situation here. And I'm leaning more towards Avery Styles, and you got to hear me out because AJ is right. Avery is not there to pick up chairs and do this and that. He was paid to wrestle. But another point that I want to make out is that Avery Styles has already become a person that people want to pay and see. And especially for the early on career, people are going to want to see that. It's kind of like being there historically for a wrestler that you got a feeling is going to be a mega star one day. It's like going to an indie show in 2003 and seeing CM Punk. That's kind of the equivalent almost. And so this Avery Styles, from what I could tell after watching two of his matches, phenomenal wrestler. He definitely has tons to learn. Phenomenal wrestler. And I feel like because of that, right? Because he is a big name, he's going to draw. People are going to go to that show to watch him wrestle. People are going to pay money to go to that venue to watch him wrestle. They're not going to know anyone else on that show, more likely than not, unfortunately. They may. I mean, it depends on who's on the show, but more likely, this Avery person, he is going to absolutely be a draw for a lot of these indie shows. And so it is an opportunity. It is an opportunity for, like, if you're a wrestler and you're going up against Avery Styles, that's an opportunity for you as well. That is a huge opportunity because you are being seen. You know, Avery Styles, his wrestling matches, they're probably going to go on YouTube, and they're probably going to be history. They're going to be historical years from now, like 10 years from now, when Avery Styles is more of an established wrestler and he's made it somewhere big. You could probably come back to this video for as long as nothing bad happens. I guarantee you, Avery Styles is going to hit it big, and people are going to look back at his indie days, and they're going to be like, man, that's a cool match. That's a cool match. Who is that guy? That guy turned out to be that guy. I feel like that's the kind of thing that's going on here. Now, you also got to think, this Avery Styles kid, he's 19 years old. And he's obviously the son of AJ Styles, and AJ Styles is a megastar, huge megastar in the wrestling industry. No doubt about it. Multi-time world champion. Phenomenal wrestler. Very athletic, too. So now, because of that, Avery Styles has a chip on his shoulder. He has to live up to every expectation. He has to perform, and perform at excellency. And people don't understand that. So there's a lot of people out there that don't understand the pressure that he has to be in, because wrestling is just not all fun and games. It's serious. It's two people trusting each other to not injure each other, to perform a performance in the middle of the ring for the audience. So you got to think about it. This Avery kid, he's only 19 years old. He's still green. He's still young. He's got a lot of pressure behind him. So kind of have to calm down on that too. And then, of course, you have Eric's side, where you have a bunch of independent wrestlers who have been wrestling for years and have gotten, unfortunately, nowhere. That do stay, that do clean, that do want to learn, that wants to live and breathe wrestling, right? So they will be there from the beginning of the day to the end of the day until the very last chair has been picked up. And so you can kind of understand it from their side, where they see this 19-year-old kid and he's kind of snobby or whatever, and he's not helping out. And you got this, like, one guy who's wrestling for 5-6 years and unfortunately still hasn't found it yet, and he's just doing this and that. I can understand the jealousy that comes from that. I can understand the frustration that comes from that. It might not even be jealousy. It could be a frustrating evening. It could not have probably didn't have enough help to clean up the ring or whatever, right? So you can kind of understand that point of view as well. So the thing is, two wrongs don't make a right. And I don't think each person was in the right here. And because of this situation right here, this had caused not just a split on the internet, but now we have wrestlers that are putting their opinion on there. And I feel like that's the last thing. If you're especially an independent wrestler and you haven't been contracted anywhere, or if you're still in the indies and you're looking to get booked, I would keep my mouth shut. Are you kidding me? If it's one person you would probably want to wrestle, it's that Avery Styles kid. Like I said from earlier, people are going to be looking back on his old matches before he comes into AEW or WWE or TNA, wherever he lands. People are going to look back at his old matches. And if I were an independent wrestler, I would want to be in one of those matches. So I would not even say anything. If Avery Styles didn't want to pick up a chair, I ain't saying nothing about it. I mean, I wouldn't agree, but I'm not disagreeing. I'd probably be neutral, but like, I'm not putting my opinion out there because, like, if you're Avery Styles and you got booked to an independent show and that promoter wants you to be in a match against that one guy, and that one guy said something against, you know, whatever on the internet about you because you didn't want to pick up a chair. Yeah, I'm not wrestling that guy. If I was Avery, I'm not wrestling that. I'd be like, you got to put me with someone else because that's not happening because he said this about me. That's as easy as that. So if I was an independent wrestler, my mouth is zipped. And then, of course, you got established wrestlers out there, too, that are saying their opinions, defending Avery and, of course, defending Eric. So there's always two sides to a story, and it's whatever you want to believe in. I'm in the neutral zone, but like I said, I'm leaning a little more towards Avery. And another thing is that, and this has gone unnoticed, apparently. Well, I want to say unnoticed, but um, Next Gen Tennessee, Next Gen Wrestling Tennessee, they posted a tweet because they had Avery Styles wrestle over there too. And they tweeted, since it's the topic of the day, Avery was nothing but polite, humble, and professional during our time with him. Asked if we needed help with anything, mentioned setting up the ring specifically, or no, especially, just throwing out our experience. Kid's gonna go far. So maybe it was an honest mistake. Maybe Avery did think that GCW had a ring crew. Maybe because GCW is not like an unknown indie promotion like a lot of these other promotions. GCW is relatively out there, like, you know, ECW back in the day. Well, maybe not like ECW, but it's up there. Like GCW is a top indie promotion. I think we can all agree with that. Now GCW also made a tweet saying that they don't have an opinion on this and they don't condone the actions of Eric, and you know, they wish Avery, you know, great success in the future and stuff like that. They're pretty in the neutral zone too. They're saying Eric is not a representative of GCW, which is smart, and because it's not GCW's fault that they are in this situation too. It's this Eric person that brought everything up on a tweet and just, I guess, showing his jealousy or whatever. So, you know, kudos to GCW for staying professional about it and not picking sides. I'm sure Avery may still continue to wrestle there, but it may also be a little awkward. But who knows? Who knows what will happen? um, wow, we talked a lot, surprisingly. Today is August 14th, by the way. If today is your birthday, well, first of all, I want to wish you a very happy birthday. August, we're already halfway through August. How is that even possible? Soon September and then October. Now, I have a very, very good couple of people, some celebrities out here whose birthday is August 14th. So if you share a birthday with these, consider yourself a little lucky, I guess. Um, this is a very older name. Oh man, if you've been around YouTube in the early days, you share a birthday with Ray William Johnson. If you know who that is, you know he was the biggest YouTube star in the early YouTube days, like late 2000s or early 2010s. He was out there. Now, of course, everything died down and so did he, but he is still a very popular name on there. And he is absolutely I don't. He's probably made a lot of money on YouTube just doing some of the stuff he did. He is known for Riley Rewind, the web series, and a collaborative YouTube channel titled Your Favorite Martian. Interesting. So there's that. You also share a birthday with local Floridian Tim Tebow. He's 39. Um, you know, very famous football player, college football specifically, played for the Florida Gators as their quarterback. Um, what was it, 2007? So very, very famous person there. Um, Probably the best quarterback Gators have ever seen in their entire history of being in college. So you share a birthday with Tim Tebow as well. And if you don't share a birthday on August 14th, if you don't have a birthday on August 14th in general, well, we can celebrate in a couple of ways. And it's just a couple of ways, by the way. There's surprisingly on this website, there's only two things on here. There's nothing else. Normally, there's like 5 or 6 things that I can read off of. This time, nothing. Today is National Creamsicle Day. I don't think I've ever had one. I have certainly tried creamsicle flavor in like energy drinks and stuff like that, but I've never tried an actual creamsicle. And if you don't know what a creamsicle is, it's like this orange lollipop, or not lollipop, ice pop with vanilla ice cream on it. Or I think it's vanilla ice cream. They say cream, so it could very well just be a dessert cream. National Creamsicle Day on August 14th celebrates the creamy citrus dessert on a stick. During the height of summer, what better way to enjoy a refreshment than with a creamsicle? Creamsicle is the brand name of an ice cream treat. It consists of vanilla ice cream. Yep, I was right. On a popsicle stick with an outer coating of sherbet. While many other flavors now exist, the original flavor was orange. So yeah, orange sherbet with vanilla ice cream, and it's actually a pretty good combination. If you haven't tried it, today's probably the best day to try it. Now, there's another national holiday, and I'm probably gonna botch this up. And there's 2 ways of saying this. Maybe there could be a third way, and I'm just mispronouncing both ways, but. It is National Navajo Code Talkers Day, or it could also very well be National Navajo Code Talkers Day. Navajo Code Talkers Day. Each year on August 14th, National Navajo Code Talkers Day honors the contributions of the Native Americans who brought their unique abilities to the World War II effort. The day also highlights their impact on U.S. code and the Native American language that made it possible. While code talkers were instrumental during World War II, the United States military used the Native American language in their coded messages before. During World War I, the Choctaw tribe's language was called upon to relate coded messages. So this is actually somewhat important because they were able to use essentially a code to communicate to each other in World War II that your enemy and someone else may not understand. So that's a very interesting national holiday. Educational, I like it. Historically educated, I like that. Well, and that's it. Those are the 2 national holidays. And I'm very Navajo. Navajo? I don't know. Anyways, I've talked a lot. I think I've talked enough. So, if you had liked this beautiful episode, please like, comment, rate, subscribe, do whatever you do on YouTube. I will see you guys next time. But for now, do yourselves a good old favor. Lay down, relax, go to bed.